What's up? Been a while. Long ass while. Yup.
Eat what you got until you get what you need, y'all.
I feel like busting loose. I feel like doing a roast.
You got to give a lot just to get what you need sometimes, y'all. Give me the bridge now. I feel like busting loose. I feel like busting loose. Give me the bridge now. I feel like busting loose. I feel like busting loose now. Busting loose in the evening. Busting loose can be easy. Busting loose, y'all. Busting loose in the meantime. Busting loose make you feel fine. Talking about busting loose, girl. Busting loose to my love, Jones. Busting loose to each his own. Talking about busting loose, y'all. Busting loose to my love, Jones. Busting loose to each his own. Give me the bridge, y'all.
Hey Mel, what's going on? Mel, yeah. It's been a long time. How you been? I feel like busting loose now. I'm gonna give it a few more minutes. Like some of the other ones. Come on in.
Come on. Get it. Y'all said. I said, Shyla. Come on. Y'all said. Y'all said, Shyla. Get it. Y'all said. I feel like busting loose. Give me the bridge down. Give me the bridge down. I feel like busting loose. Busting loose. Busting loose when you want to deal. Do what you feel. Yeah. Busting loose, girl. Busting loose when you want to deal. Busting loose doing what you feel. Talking about busting loose. Busting loose when you want to sing. Busting loose, baby, do your thing. Talking about busting loose, girl. Busting loose when you want to sing. Busting loose, baby, do your thing.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. It is 8:59 a.m. in Southern Cali. It's probably the afternoon somewhere on the East Coast. And it's probably tomorrow night somewhere in Southeast Asia. Get on down. I'm about to get down. Get on down. I'm about to get down like James Brown. You hear me? What's up, Tracy S? How you doing? All right. We sent out some secret invites. This is a secret roast. Welcome to today's secret roast. I don't think we're going to do much of the Jehovah's Witness talk because, quite frankly, as you might have known and heard, I retired from the activism thing.
Feel like busting loose. Give me the bridge now. Give me the bridge now. I feel like busting loose. Busting loose.
I had to go to the kitchen and get get my NutriBullet shake. If you haven't tried this NutriBullet, it's a blender. It's a personal blender. I'm telling you, you need to get your hands on it. It is absolutely amazing. NutriBullet, magic bullet. Okay. What's up, something found? Welcome to the secret roast party on fucking Barbra Streisand. Did you guys see what that hag bitch had to say about victims who are being sexually abused? Did you guys see what that hag bitch said? Oh, don't get me started. Yes, do get me started. Because that's what this roast is about. Her and some of these other celebrities. But let me tell you, before we go on, is my vaporizer on? I got my joints and I got my NutriBullet shake. Because I'm going to need my vitamins for this roast. All right. So let me tell you about, before I get started with the roast, I want to tell you about NutriBullet. I was just in the neighborhood today. Matter of fact, we were all just in the neighborhood today, stopping by our friends and neighbors. And I've been wanting to ask you, have you heard of NutriBullet? Because if you haven't, you really need to get your hands on one, okay? Let me see what we can do here. Oh my goodness, I want to do a screen share, but I have got so many windows open that I don't want you to see. There's a secret window. Secret window, boo. All right, let me see. NutriBullet. Anyway, just Google NutriBullet, okay? You can eat all your vegetables every day, all the servings, even if you don't like it. Put them into the NutriBullet, all right? I've got something right now that's got kale, spinach, carrots, mango, blueberries, blackberries, strawberries. I've put oatmeal in here. I've put some walnuts, some almonds, and I've put some French yogurt in there, and some honey, and yeah, a couple of other goodies. But anyway, it's very, very good. It's a great smoothie that you can make. You can make it a little bit thicker and then freeze it and eat it like a type of ice cream, okay? Or you can put a little bit more fluids, juices, or some people put water. I put cranberry juice in mine. And you can put juices in there and make it a little bit more liquidy and drink it as a shake. And it can be a complete meal. It can be a snack. You can put this in your Starbucks coffee thermos. This is what I've got. I've got a black Starbucks coffee thermos, and it will keep it nice and cold and take it to work with you. And then in between lunch and your other breaks, you can be sipping on this. I'm actually eating it because, like I said, you can make it thick and more like a thick type of a smoothie, or you can make it more liquidy. I like to freeze mine partially and kind of eat it like ice cream. It's really good. And it's very healthy, okay? So you're going to get all your servings of vegetables and fruits with this NutriBullet smoothie. NutriBullet, I think you can get it anywhere. Amazon, you can get it at Target, at Walmart, and they're like $60, $70. It is a really, really cost-efficient investment into your health. Because if you're not eating right, if you're not going to be eating healthy nutrition, it's going to cost you in the long run as far as medical bills and pain and disease and sickness and pills and medicines and all that crap. So it's just something to think about. So XJWs, you need to get this NutriBullet. That's all I'm saying. All right. Anyway, enough of the NutriBullet. What did something found say? Jehovah Bullet.
Who is it?
It's NutriBullet Witnesses.
Who?
NutriBullet Witnesses.
Are y'all like the Jehovah Witnesses?
No, we're preaching about the NutriBullet.
What the hell is a NutriBullet?
Would you come to the door, sir, and I'll show you what a NutriBullet is.
No, I'm not interested. I already got my own NutriBullet. Bye.
Yeah, Mel S. NutriBullet is so easy to clean, folks. There's only three pieces to the thing. Okay, there's the bottom part, the motor part that stirs the thing. Then you've got the plastic cup and the top, which has the blades on one side, and then the I don't know what you call it, but it functions uh, to the bottom half of that motor thing. So what you do is you put all your stuff in it in the cup, then you put the top on, turn it upside down, put it onto the motor thing, and literally it's just 1 or 2 minutes. It's going to blend it into a smoothie for you, and then you open the top, rinse the top with water. I mean, you can use dishwashing soap, but you can just rinse it with water, and it'll be completely clean. And then you either drink straight from the cup, or you can pour it into another cup. Like I said, I've got mine in my Starbucks thermos. Okay, I know Starbucks is probably pissed at me right now for not putting Starbucks in it, but I'm trying to be healthy this morning. I don't know about this afternoon. I might go get something that's not healthy, but right now I'm in the healthy mode because I want to fucking roast this bitch Barbra Streisand. Okay, and yeah, Tracy S in the live chat says they say we all have a bullet with our name on it. Bob's found his. That's right. That's right. This is my magic bullet. So good. You guys really need to try this. This is so good. All right. So before we get into Barbra Streisand, I want to give you a little update about what's been going on with me. Like I said, I'm retired from the XJW activism, and it's been a long time coming. I retired back 4 or 5 months ago. I think when I made the last video on my Bob Smith channel, where I said I was disappointed with some of the things that were going on in the ex-Jehovah's Witness community. And I was really shocked at some of the things I found out, allegations of sexual assault by other ex-JW activists, accusing others, sexual abuse, sexual assault, scammy things, people scamming, people not calling child protective services that are heads of nonprofits that's supposed to be fighting sexual abuse, and then they're not, they're hanging up when child protective services ask them for the address so they can get the kids out of being molested and beaten. And these so-called quote-unquote activists hanging up in their faces, not trying to help CPS, not trying to help law enforcement, get these kids out of a bad situation. All of this stuff, I just had enough of it. I did not want to be part of groups like that. And my view on it is that's how it is. I think that in the Jehovah's Witness community, some people do tend to be like this, given the background. It's their path. It's not my path. And I've kept a distance from a lot of people, and some people didn't really like it. They equated it to being shunned, or they equated it to something else. I don't know. But in any case, I feel I have a personal resolution with what I've went through concerning the abuse and the Jehovah's Witnesses. I've reached a resolution with myself on things. I feel I have had justice, even though there was not a court case, even though the perpetrators did not go to prison. I do experience a justice, a realignment, and a restitution of all that I was, all that I had lost, all that I had gone through. And I think it's probably taken me at least a decade or more. So that's one of the reasons why I stopped. But I'm not going to stop talking about other things that could be related to it, like this thing with leaving Neverland and Michael Jackson, and that ties into this Barbra Streisand thing and a couple of these other celebrities that I'm going to be roasting too on here. Okay, so that's where my stand is. I've been keeping a distance from the ex-Jehovah's Witness communities. There's more than one. Okay, and I've been keeping a distance from a lot of other people that are ex Jehovah's. I don't hate anyone. I'm not sitting here judging them. I might not be pleased with what they're doing. I might not think a lot of them, right? And I might have roasted them or whatever. But in the big picture of things, I realize that this is I don't want to say normal, but it is something to be expected given the background from which we all came from, which is a high control cult, a pedophile cult. Okay, so these patterns that have been embedded into us, some of us are much more prone to repeat them than others, right? And we all are prone to repeat these patterns. None of us is going to be immune to it. And I tend to think no matter how many years you've been away or how many years of counseling you've had, you don't want to fall prey to the winner's curse. And basically, the winner's curse is that it's a tendency, a human tendency, for you to get comfortable or for you to feel overconfident based on successes of the past. Okay, and this can happen in anything. It can happen in with athletes, big time athletes that get comfortable, that start to feel invincible. Big time entertainers. We've got R. Kelly, who clearly has a lot of sex tapes on him molesting these young girls. And then, of course, he's so comfortable in himself as a celebrity because he's gotten away with it for over 20 years that he just started screaming at Gayle King on the Gayle King interview and just basically made it worse. I don't think he helped his case any at all. So we have I'm going to say Michael Jackson allegedly because I know that there's Michael Jackson fans that might be listening and that might be very, very upset if I don't use the word allegedly. Okay. We do have to look at the fact that he was never convicted in a court of law, but that doesn't mean anything because a lot of people that are pedophiles and criminals get off and beat their cases all the time, especially high-powered, rich celebrities, right? But I will say he was never convicted in a court of law. However, if you haven't watched Leaving Neverland, if you haven't watched Surviving R. Kelly, as an ex-Jehovah's Witness activist, I would admonish you to watch them, especially if you're out here and you're a survivor and you're out here wanting to expose Watchtower. These are two documentaries that you need to be watching. Excuse me. Now, let's see who in the live chat has watched these documentaries. Excuse me. Mel S. It's just too much with the activism. Mel S. in the live chat says, it's too much with the activism. Tracy S. says, ego takes over and they think they are untouchable. Yes. And doesn't this happen with quote unquote prominent XJWs? The elite, the legends, the ones that are running these nonprofits and all that. And by the way, why is it that every stinking person that gets in the media that tells their survivor story turns around and makes a nonprofit and a GoFundMe? I mean, how many freaking nonprofits are there now? Like 50, 60? What in the world is... You know how hard it is to create a legitimate nonprofit? You know how much money, time, effort, and skill? You can't just say, oh, I'll make a nonprofit. You can't just do that. I mean, nonprofits are not GoFundMes. You can make a GoFundMe. Anybody can make a GoFundMe and start begging But nonprofits, a legitimate nonprofit, is going to be a little bit more of a challenge. Trust me, I've tried this many, many years ago for the transgender groups. I think it was back in 2003. And I learned just how uh, easy or difficult it can be to set up a nonprofit. And I never went past just the idea stage because it wasn't that easy. And I had 300 people that were ready to do this. 300 in a group, in a Yahoo group. Okay. So anyway, um, the ego starts to take over, and people have they get complicit, they get comfortable, and they get bold. And sometimes they get bold in the crimes that they want to commit. Okay. Mel S says, seen only the R. Kelly documentary. Okay, check this out, everybody. If you haven't seen Leaving Neverland, you can see it on HBO. If you don't have HBO and you don't have cable, you can go to HBO, sign up for HBO Now, and you can load the app on your phone, on your laptop, on your desktop, on your LG pad, whatever devices you have. They have a 7-day free trial. Okay. So you can go on there and sign up for the 7-day free trial, watch the 4-hour documentary, Leaving Neverland, and then as soon as you're done, you can cancel. And I would advise anybody, it's worth at least a month's pay for HBO Now. I've got HBO Now and I just signed up for the month. I'm going to cancel next month, but I do want to put a little money to it because I do think that those guys are telling the truth. It was very palpable. It was very, very shocking and graphic what they explained, but what they said happened and the way it happened. And I do tend to believe them. I know that that probably doesn't sit well with someone that is a Michael Jackson fan, but I don't think they're lying. And I don't think they're out for money. I know this is like the classic go-to thing that people say, well, you know, he's never been convicted, and there are people that are greedy and that want money. And that statement is valid. It's true. There are people that have lied and for money. But I don't think it's these two. I just the pain was palpable, especially with Jimmy Safe Chuck when he took out the wedding ring that Michael gave him with the mock wedding. Yeah, Michael had a mock wedding with one of the boys, and he gave him a ring. Yeah. When he took out the jewelry, the ring, he was still shaking, you know, and I just I felt concerned because he seemed like he was still dealing with the after effects of it. And these two, they didn't describe Michael as an aggressive bully that forced them to do sexual things. They described it as almost as if they were in a relationship with him. You know, the way that they described it, it seemed like somewhere deep inside they still felt like they were boyfriend with Michael as they were explaining it, even though Michael's dead for I don't know how many years now, right? And that is the cult brainwashing that pedophiles do. They make the children, they make you believe that it was your idea, that you wanted to be abused. So pedophilia is a cult mindset on its own because pedophiles truly believe that they're not doing anything wrong. So they can sit there in a court of law and tell you that, no, I never did anything. They can tell you this. If you look at R. Kelly, he says the same thing. I didn't do this stuff. That's not me. That's Lucifer. Okay? So distancing himself from what he really is. And it's the common story. Well, they wanted it. They wanted to have sex. Little children cannot consent. Their brains are not developed They don't. Their frontal cortex is not developed yet to be able to make decisions like that. Okay. So, but anyway, I tend to believe them. But now here's what Barbra Streisand had to say. Barbra Streisand, you know who that is? You know who that dildo nose piece of shit is? I didn't even know that hag was alive. I thought she was dead. I mean, I remember her from the 80s. I remember that old hag from the 80s. I don't know what song she sung, but I know whatever song she sung were boring as shit to me when I heard it, because I never listened to any of her music. All right. Something found in the live chat says, and the other jewelry was for sexual favors. Yes. Michael Jackson had he gave these people a lot of money, these kids. The maid says that he molested her boy, and every time he touched the kid, he would give him $100. Okay, so Michael had the means to pay people and to hush people up. I mean, he is a multi-billionaire, not millionaire, but billionaire. So, you know, there's nothing he couldn't buy. And R. Kelly too. I mean, he's not a billionaire, but you know, he has had money to buy people off and all kinds of things, fly people across the country for sex and all kinds of crap. So this Barbra Streisand, guess what she says? Let me see if we can do, you know what? Let's see if we can do a screen share. Remember those good old screen shares I used to do with you guys back in the day? Let me see if I can pull up one of these articles, and we're going to look at an article together. And then after we look at her article, I want to go ahead and give you my nutshell summary and my opinion, because it's very, very interesting that you have celebrities coming out. I haven't heard of this Barbra Streisand hag in I don't know how forever. So why she would feel the need all of a sudden? I'm trying to close out all these windows here. Holy shit. I hope my computer doesn't freeze. Please don't freeze on me, computer, please. You know I love you. I love you, computer. Please don't do this to me. Oh, shoot. Give me just a second here. I want you to see this article with me. That's why I'm wanting to do a screen share. I had like 17 windows open before. I should have closed these things down before I opened this live stream, but I didn't plan to do a live stream today. But when I saw this Barbra Streisand, I just had to come on here and say something. Come on, computer, damn it. All right, fuck it. I'm just going to read this over here off of the news report. So I'm Googling Barbra Streisand. Barbra Streisand. Michael Jackson. Okay. Now, the first one that comes up is from The Guardian here, and I'm going to read it to you. You can look this up too later. Barbra Streisand says of Michael Jackson accusers, it didn't kill them. Okay, so she's like, well, okay, you got molested, but it didn't kill you, did it? Singer, 76, condemned for remarks on alleged sexual abuse, says of Jackson, his sexual needs were his sexual needs. So can you believe that? Well, let's go on further. Barbra Streisand has been strongly criticized for comments about two men who accused Michael Jackson of sexual abuse in the HBO documentary Leaving Neverland. Speaking to The Times in advanced performances in Britain this summer, Streisand said she absolutely believed Wade Robson and James Safechuck. But, she said, you can say molested, but those children, as you heard, say they were thrilled to be at Jackson's Neverland Ranch. They both married and they both have children, so it didn't kill them. Can you believe this shit? Can you believe this dildo-nosed hag piece of shit? Let's read further. In the documentary, the two men allege Jackson began grooming them when they were as young as 7 and subjected them to sexual abuse. Both men say that as adults, they have suffered from depression, self-loathing, and anxiety and have struggled with familial relationships. Streisand, 76, said, she had a combination of feelings. I feel bad for the children. I feel bad for him. I blame, I guess, the parents who would allow their children to sleep with him. You blame the parents, bitch, but you're part of the enabling process too with your fucking comments, you old ass hag. You need to just go ahead and die. I mean, you're already 76, bitch. I thought you were been dead. You know, what the fuck? Just drop dead, bitch. Oh, bitch. She's she says, it is widely believed Jackson was verbally and physically abused as a child. His sexual needs were his sexual needs, Streisand says, coming from whatever childhood he has or whatever DNA he has. So she's trying to say that maybe it's a genetic thing, that, you know, pedophilia is in the DNA and that he couldn't help himself. That's what she's trying to convey in her message there. Let's read it again. She says his sexual needs were his sexual needs. So pedophilia is a sexual need, bitch? Bitch, it's a fucking choice and a crime. What the fuck are you talking about, you old piece of shit? And then she says, coming from whatever childhood he has or whatever DNA he has. I'm so motherfucking tired of people making excuses for pedophiles just because they were abused. Okay, they were abused. I was abused too. Many other people have been abused. That doesn't make us want to go and abuse other kids. What the fuck is wrong with people? And this bitch here is supposed to be some popular celebrity. Like I said, I'll never listen to her shit. I heard maybe one song back in the 80s or a couple of songs on the radio, and they were boring as hell to me. I never had anything for her. I mean, she was just like lint to me, but now I can't stand that fucking dildo nose bitch. I mean, bitch, you should have got Michael Jackson's surgeon to fix your ugly ass nose. I mean, that shit is big. You know what I mean? It's like a dildo. Maybe you can shove it up R. Kelly's ass, since R. Kelly likes dildos being put in his ass. Maybe you can put your damn nose in his ass, and then we can ask you if you're glad to be there when he shits right in your face, you know, and pisses in your face. Because, you know, that's what R. Kelly likes. You know he's the real Master P. You know R. Kelly, R. Pissy. R. Pissy is the real Master P, right? Because he loves the pee in people's faces. I mean, you all can Google this stuff. I mean, was it RCA where he was recording and they took the one of the managers in the RCA recording label where he was recording or whatever, took pictures of these cups of urine that he had on the piano and shit that he was, you know, and there was like semen in the grand piano and the string because he was having sex in the freaking piano or on top of the piano or some kind of nasty stuff. I'm telling you, these celebrities that we see on TV that everybody's oohing and ahhing over, that people are worshiping and adoring, these are the most disgusting, filthy idiots that you'll ever know. You wouldn't want these people coming to your home. You wouldn't want these people in your private life. I'm telling you. I am telling you, they are disgusting. They have no morality. You know, I'm not one to be judging on people's morality, but when I draw the line at child sex abuse, okay? I tend to think maybe I'm kind of liberal in some areas. I'm pretty conservative in other areas, okay? I'm pretty vanilla in a lot of areas. But I think when it comes to child sex abuse, I draw the fucking line there, okay? As long as it's two consenting adults, I don't care if you're gay or straight. I don't care, you know, what you do in your bedroom. If you wear clown suits and screw each other upside down, standing on one leg, I don't care about any of that. But when you do children, and when you're somebody who might not directly molest children, but you're a pedophile by proxy because you're saying that the victims are thrilled to be molested, then that puts you in the same category as the pedophiles. And you know what? Pedophiles by proxy, a lot of them are women and mothers. They don't necessarily physically molest, but they're damn sure help to enable it. They help to keep the environment of pedophilia. They don't go to the police. And like this bitch here, this Streisand bitch, they say, well, you know, it didn't kill you. You're still alive. You got married and had kids. Bitch, what the fuck is wrong with you? So, yeah, we need to stick Barbra Streisand in a male prison full of convicted sex offenders for a good 6 months. Stick her ass up in there with them. Okay, and then afterwards we can ask her, are you thrilled to be here, bitch? Because I think you're thrilled to be here, bitch. You're still alive. It didn't kill you, did it? You just got your booty hole raped to no end till your fucking guts came out of your throat, but you're still alive, bitch. Shit. All right, let's move on. It says here, the director of Leaving Neverland, Dan Reed, responded on Twitter asking, did you really say that on Saturday morning? He added, his sexual needs were his sexual needs. Is pedophilia tolerated in parts of the entertainment industry? Well, we all know the answer to that. Yes. Yes. Pedophilia is the running currency for the entertainment industry, folks, just like it is for religious industry. And yes, I call religious institutions an industry because that's what it is. It's a moneymaker. And you know, the core of it is pedophilia. The core of the religious institutions and the entertainment industry is pedophilia, people. Wake the fuck up and smell the damn, I don't know what you want to call, smell the shit that's all around you. Okay? Shit. Jackson died in 2009, age 51. Leaving Neverland has caused tremendous controversy for many viewers. It was a graphic and upsetting portrait of a figure encircled by rumor for the better part of 30 years. The film has prompted partial scrubbing from pop culture. Jackson's legacy. Simpsons pulled an episode he voiced, and Jackson-inspired pieces were removed from Louis Vuitton collection. Some fans maintain his innocence, buying ads, loudly criticizing the HBO film, and in some cases threatening those involved in its production. One group has filed a suit against the men who came forward in Leaving Neverland for sullying Jackson's memory. And I want to tell you about this one here. This is a French attorney in France. Now, he has this same group that's wanting to sue Safe Chuck and Robson from Leaving Neverland for quote-unquote sullying Jackson's memory. The same group with that same attorney has successfully sued in a similar case previously, okay? They have successfully sued. And I'm laughing because I'm about to let you know, I'm about to drop the ball. They won the lawsuit. And you know the damages that they won? You know how much they were awarded? Can you take a guess, folks? 80 cents. Yes. 80 fucking cents. All that legal wrangling and tangling, and that motherfucking lawyer, yeah, you won that damn suit, but you got 80 cents. Now go buy yourself a pack of fucking crackers, bitch, and shut the fuck up. Because it is true. That 80 cents didn't even cover gas money to get to the damn courthouse. How pathetic is that, right? All right. I think I closed my chat window here. Let me see here. All right. Let's see who we have in the chat, in the live chat. We still have Something Found. She says, be right back. Tracy S, Mel S. We got some people lurking, and that's all right. But yeah, Mel S says she's speechless. Sick heifer. She is a sick heifer. Are you going to listen to any of her songs again, Mel S? Because I never really listened to any of her shit anyway. Like I said, I didn't even know she was still alive. I thought she must have been at least dead. I mean, Something Found says pedophiles are normalized now. Yeah, I think so too. Tracy S says in the UK, pedophilia is classed as a mental illness. I'm not sure what I think about that. Mel S says, I don't let no one in my home unless I've known them for decades. Yeah, I don't let anybody in my home either. Nope. You got to be real special to come into my home. I don't let people in my home like that. But, you know, Barbra Streisand isn't the only one. Barbra Streisand is not the only one that's doing this and saying things like this. Do you guys know who Erykah Badu is, by any chance? Erykah Badu. I used to love Erykah Badu. And unfortunately, Erykah Badu is the same stinking thing. Let's see what Erykah Badu had to say. I'm going to click these things out here. Do I have everything turned off so I can do a screen share? Let's see. I'm going to Google Erykah Badu R. Kelly. Now, this is what Erykah Badu had to say about R. Kelly. I used to love Erykah Badu. The last one I really liked when she did a collab with, what is that lady's name? Janelle Monáe. You guys know Janelle Monáe, right? Okay, so Janelle Monáe, she did a collab with Janelle Monáe. Let's take a look at what Erykah Badu has to say here. All right. Erykah Badu, get out of here. Erykah Badu defends R. Kelly. I love you unconditionally. Can you believe that shit? The musician says she's putting up a prayer right now for the R&B singer following a TV documentary that repeated allegations against him. And it's interesting because she has not said anything about the victims. She's just like a Jehovah's Witness, right? When you're telling these Jehovah's Witnesses about their own stuff, what do they usually say? Oh, we must respect the rapist. We must have compassion for the rapist. And there's nothing for the victims. Here, it says, Erykah Badu has defended R. Kelly after a TV documentary series reiterated multiple allegations of sexual abuse against the singer. There's videotapes out on this fucker, okay? Kelly has repeatedly denied all claims. During a performance at the Aragon Ballroom in Chicago on the 19th of January, Badu told the crowd, I don't know how everybody else feel about it, but I'm putting up a prayer right now for R. Hope he sees the light of day if he done all those things that we've seen on TV and heard those ladies talk about. I hope he sees the light of day and comes forward. She responded to boos from the audience. What y'all say, fuck him? That's not love. That's not unconditional love. But what if one of the people that was assaulted by R. Kelly grows up to be an offender? We gonna crucify them? Yeah, bitch. Yes, we are. We're gonna put them right in jail, bitch. Like, what the fuck? What do you think? Like, you're gonna just let them keep running around and abusing, bitch? What, you're gonna slap it on the wrist and let them say, oh, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again? Bitch, what? What the fuck is wrong with these people? These are the celebrities that you're admiring. The music, the movies, the television shows, all of these people, and I don't mean every last one of them because there's exceptions to the rule, but we don't know which one of them are of the same mind, like Erykah and Barbra Streisand, because there's a lot more of them. They're just not saying anything. Master P is another one. Master P said some sideways shit. You know, I mean, not that I was ever into Master P, but Badu continued. They bout to R. Kelly me to death on the internet. I'm like, God damn, I just want peace and light for everybody and healing for those who are hurt because everyone involved has been hurt, victimized in some kind of way. Love for everybody. Bitch, shut your mouth. If you didn't want people to get on your ass, you should have shut your mouth. You should have shut the fuck up. You should have stayed quiet. You should have kept that shit to yourself. Now you're mad because you're losing album sales. You got people flaming you all over social media, and it's cutting into your wallet. That's the only motherfucking reason your ass is backtracking. Only reason. But you're not fooling me because I done tossed all your shit out. I'll never listen to your shit again. Even if you did a 180, sprouted wings and a halo, and retracted every last thing you said and became a pro-activist against R. Kelly, I still wouldn't fucking listen to your shit at all anymore. You can go to hell right with R. Kelly, bitch. Badu responded to criticism on Sunday. I love you unconditionally, she tweeted in remarks apparently directed at Kelly. She loves pedophiles. She loves R. Kelly pissing on those girls. That's what she loves. Erykah Badu loves that shit. She probably wishes she was a little girl again so she could get pissed on by R. Kelly. She loves him so much. She says, that doesn't mean I support your poor choices. I want healing for you and anyone you have hurt as a result of you being hurt. Is that strange to you? She concluded. That's all I've ever said. Anything else has been fabricated or taken out of context. She's trying to backtrack now and trying to kind of fix it, but it's too late. It's too late, bitch. Too late. You know, you look like a fucking raccoon, ugly ass raccoon faced bitch. How the fuck are you gonna say this stuff like, well, you know, if the other people that he abused turn into abusers, are we gonna crucify them too? Yes, bitch, they're gonna go right to jail too, bitch. What do you think? What the fuck do you think, bitch? She says on Instagram, having eyes that can see all points of view is a blessing and a curse in the court of public opinion. Responding to a fan who accused her of supporting R. Kelly, Badu said, correction, love has little to do with supporting others' bad choices. Love is wisdom. So this bitch is on some other kind of shit. She's trying to backtrack and fix her shit, and it's not working. It's not working. You know, you can go on and love pedophiles unconditionally if you want, but you're going to do it away from me. You will never be on my radio again. You will never play on any of my devices again. And if I hear you in a restaurant or somewhere else, I'm getting my shit and I'm leaving. Or else I'm putting my headphones on. That's what I started doing, people. I started carrying an extra set of headphones in my pocket because, you know, I'll be hearing a Michael Jackson song somewhere when I'm out in a restaurant or something, and I'll put my earbuds right on and turn my own music on and drown that motherfucking pedophile right on out. You're not gonna force me to listen to his shit. I'm not gonna ask the restaurant to go out of its way to change their flow. That's on them. If they want to keep blasting Michael Jackson pedophile music in their restaurant, that's on them. But you're not gonna force me to listen to it. And that would be the last meal I'm eating at your restaurant. Badu was among a number of celebrities who declined to appear in the Lifetime documentary Surviving R. Kelly. Gee, I wonder why. According to the executive producer, Dream Hampton, Jay-Z, Mary J. Blige, Lil' Kim, Dave Chappelle, Lady Gaga, and Questlove allegedly turned down interviews for the 6-part series, which aired early January. Okay? So you can read the rest of this stuff, but this is basically the gist of Erykah Badu. And like I said, I'm done with her fucking ass too. Now, since we got screen share up, take a look at Barbra Streisand, Michael Jackson. Right here, this ugly hag. This bitch is ugly as fuck. God damn, you see her? I don't know who's the man or the woman in this picture because this bitch look manly as hell. You see that big man nose? That's a man nose. And then what kind of plastic surgery has she had? Did she have the same surgeon as Michael? Because it seemed like the surgeon missed the nose part because her nose is huge. And then her teeth need to get fixed. You know, I'm telling you, these celebrities look a hot, shitty mess. You got all this money, all this fame, and you still can't get your shit together. What is going on, people? You know why? Because you're a pedophile enabler. You're a pedophile supporter. You're a pedophile protector. You're probably a pedophile yourself, bitch. Birds of the same feather flock together. Isn't that what they say? Anyway, right here. Barbra Streisand believes Michael Jackson was a child molester, but she also believes his victims got a bonus on the sexual attacks that didn't kill them, according to a new interview. So it's not that she doesn't believe it. She believes it. But she says that they were thrilled to get molested. Streisand was interviewed by the Times in the UK and shared some bizarre thoughts about Michael Jackson and the two accusers leaving Neverland, Wade Robson and James Safechuck. Streisand seemed sympathetic to Jackson, saying his sexual needs were his sexual needs, coming from whatever childhood he has or whatever DNA he has. So she sees it as sexual needs. So I'm thinking she probably is a pedophile herself. Come on now. What the fuck kind of person says that? You know what I mean? What the hell kind of person says that shit? She believes Robson and Safechuck were indeed molested by Michael Jackson, saying the HBO documentary was painful to watch. So she's not disputing it. She says she believes it. But then she goes on. That said, she went on to dismiss the horror of child molestation, saying, "You can say molested, but those children, as you heard them say in the documentary, were thrilled to be there. They both married and they both have children, so it didn't kill them." So, you know, if you're being molested and raped and shit, and it doesn't kill you, well, then it's okay, according to Barbra Streisand. You know, then she thinks you're probably thrilled to have been raped and molested. Streisand wasn't done. She said, "I feel bad for the children. I feel bad for him. I guess, the parents who would allow their children to sleep with him. Why would Michael need these little children dressed like him and in the shows and in the dancing and the hats? Excuse me, in the hats." Streisand says Jackson once asked her to a duet. "I just can't stop loving you," but she turned him down. Yeah, right. Did Jackson ask to fuck your son, Jason? Did you turn him down for that, or did you say, well, he's got sexual needs, go on and get Jason? I respect your needs. It's just sexual needs. Here, take my son. Did you do that, bitch? Because I think you might have. Shit. So yeah, Barbra Streisand. Can you believe that, people? Can you freaking believe that? This ugly. God damn. You know what? I never thought anything of Barbra Streisand before this. You know, she was like lent to me. She was just a boring artist. She never really clicked with me, but I never had any kind of negative feelings for her either. It was just plain indifference. But now, she's just ugly as shit to me, and her nose has gotten so huge. I mean, it's incredibly huge to me. And she looks like a lizard. I'm having to say this. I'm going to say this, people. I'm going to say this right now. These celebrities, a lot of these celebrities look like fucking lizards, don't they? They all start to look like lizards after a while. They have this plastic surgery, and they all start looking like mannequin lizards. These mannequin-faced lizards. Every last one of them. You know, and Michael Jackson is an extreme version of it, but you can see Barbra Streisand, she's had some kind of lip thing done. You see how weird her lips are? And then her teeth, they did not fix her teeth. Her teeth look like she's been chewing on fucking rocks. I mean, you got millions of dollars, you're a high profile celebrity or whatever, and you're not even going to take some of that money to fix your ugly ass teeth? You see those teeth? They look like she's got like can opener teeth and shit. She can open cans of corn and shit for you. I'm serious. She looks like the Beast off of Beauty and the Beast. I'm telling you, I don't know who's manlier looking, her or Michael. I don't know who looks more like a woman, her or Michael. I mean, you know what I'm saying? She's definitely fugly as fuck. Fugly, you hear me? Anyway, let's check into the live stream here. Welcome back. Something found. Tracy S says, I never heard of her. I guess you're talking about Erica Badu. Yeah, well, you're not missing anything. Okay. Something found says she needs to get her go bag lady biatch. Yeah, she ain't no. Erica Badu is a fuck bitch. Fuck Erica Badu. Mel S says, them teeth. I wish grandma was here. She cracked on Babs for years. Really? Your grandmother cracked on her? Wasn't she Woody Allen's friend as well? Oh, really? She's a mutated freak. I don't like to judge people, but she's in the public. Lizard people, yes. Something found says, love don't live here anymore. You support a pedophile, and love don't live here anymore. Something found says she looks like John Travolta in a blonde wig. Let me do a compare for real. Let me Google this. All right. John Travolta. John Travolta wears a lace wig, by the way, people. You know he's bald as hell. All right. We got John Travolta, and then we got Barbra Streisand. Let's do a comparison here. All right. I'm going to do another screenshot. Screen share. Okay. Let's do this. We're going to do this. Okay. We got Barbara here. Okay. And then let's look at John Travolta here. Ew. Wow. Isn't he a Scientologist? Dang, he done got really ugly. Is that John Travolta? Let me see something here. John Travolta, plastic surgery. Ew, you guys see this thing? They look so weird. These Hollywood people start looking like lizard mannequins. He looks like a fake. He no longer looks human. I'm telling you. Look at this. He looks like a wax. Is that a wax doll? No, it's John Travolta. Yeah. She does kind of look like him, except her big nose. He's got a large nose, but he's a man, right? Men are supposed to have bigger noses than women, right? Look at this before and after. Yup, his eyes are like pulled together like a lizard. I'm telling you, these people look fucking lizard-like. You know? I know these Illuminati conspiracy theory people, they talk about the lizards and all of that, but I think there's something to it. At least the celebrities look like fucking lizards. And, since they're all loving pedophiles and shit, I mean, hell, maybe they're the Illuminati for real. I mean, I don't think they control the world by no means. They're too much idiots to control the world. But I'm sure they'd like to control the world. But, yeah, you're right, something found. She does look like John Travolta in a wig. See, I told you he was bald. This is how he really looks. You see that? He wears lace wigs. Lace wigs. This is how he really looks. He looks like a regular dude that you just see walking down the street. But the celebrity look is, plastic surgery and lace wigs for both men and women. And John Travolta is another one of these people that I don't really respect much. Ew, 2011, and then his hair grew back in 2015. Yeah, I don't respect him either. He's a Scientologist, so that tells you everything. Any celebrity that's in a cult out there pushing the cult, I don't have any respect for. None whatsoever. Okay? None. But you're right, something found. She does look like a Femi John Travolta in a lace wig. Yup, he does look like Babs. Shit. Shit. Nasty as fuck. Mel S says her nose is so big, grandma said it made her cross-eyed. Man, she could fuck somebody with that nose. You know what I mean? She could lesbian dyke out with that nose. She could go muff diving with that nose and, double the pleasure. She could shove that nose up R. Kelly's ass, because R. Kelly loves to have dildos shoved up his ass, according to Jerhonda Pace and a bunch of other women that he had in his sex cult. If you guys take about a day or two to go Google R. Kelly dildo anus. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna do it now while I got you on here. Google R. Kelly dildo. Shall we do that, people? Let's Google it together. Are we in class? Let's Google R. Kelly dildo together. You see that? R. Kelly dildo. And you'll see a bunch of results. New R. Kelly gay allegations made little girls insert dildos. R. Kelly's alleged gay lover exposed by sex cult victim. LeakU.com, Instagram, R. Kelly likes a 9-inch dildo. R. Kelly, 16-year-old ex reveals STD gay lovers. So yeah, you can read through that. I'm not going to click that dildo Instagram thing because I do not want to see any pictures of him having a dildo in his ass. Okay, because I would just have to be hospitalized, and counseled for the rest of the year. If I see something like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, people, R. Kelly with his, pimp G thug OG image or whatever bullshit, macho conquest of women image, actually likes to have dildos shoved up his ass. That's one of the things he has these women do. And Jerhonda Pace said, and let me see if you can Google Jerhonda. I'm saying Jerhonda Pace, not Jerhonda. Yeah, let's go on here. Not this one. Okay, this is the interview I watched on YouTube. So when you get a little time later on, check it out. It's Unwind with Tasha K. She has a lot of dirt on R. Kelly. She's been doing R. Kelly for a couple of years now, and I have watched some of her stuff. Something Found turned me on to Tasha K. Unwind with Tasha K. This is her YouTube channel here.
All right, so Jerhonda, thank you so much, girl. I am so happy you are finally able.
Okay, this lady here, her name is Unwind with Tasha K. Okay, check her out because a lot of the stuff that she brings out a year or so later, all the newspapers have it out. So this one here is one of the people that R. Kelly molested as a young girl, and whatever. But okay, it doesn't say anything else but just the video. Okay, I thought there might have been a write-up on it. Let's see. Woman who wrote book and said R. Kelly is really gay and likes dildos. Okay, hopefully this isn't some scam site. Oh gosh. Fuck out of here with that. Get out of here. Get. Let's see. R. Kelly confesses in 19-minute video. Would you let a girl use a dildo on you? R. Kelly says he enjoys it. Anyway, I'm going to move on. But yeah, he likes dildos. Okay, so I'm thinking, maybe he and Barbra Streisand should get together. You know what I'm saying? Because she's got a big dildo nose. All he has to do is bend his ass over, and then she can just spread his butt cheeks wide, and then she could just, hammer her nose up in there like a woodpecker. And, I'm sure she'd be thrilled to be there, shoot. Shit. Mel S says her nose is so big, Grandma said it made her cross-eyed. Okay, I read that already. Something Found says you need to little Zebby him and put a long blonde wig on him. I don't want the Scientologists coming after me because these culty neighbors. I told you about these culty neighbors. Something Found. You know that motherfucker signed me up for all kinds of junk mail, including Scientology. I made the mistake before I knew who they were or what they were about. When they first moved in, they were all friendly and stuff. And, the wife was like, hey, give me your email address and I'll send you some info about some legal stuff. She's supposed to be an attorney. So I figured, it was all right. Well, that bitch done took my email and signed me up for all kinds of shit, including Scientology, because I'm getting emails from Scientology people saying, thanks for signing up. Here's our Roku television link, and here's our website, and please let us know if you have any questions. And I had to email them back, somebody named Stacy from Scientology, from the Hollywood Celebrity Center. And I had to email her back and say, please don't contact me. This is a neighbor harassing me, signing me up for all kinds of junk. So, yeah. Something Found says, Google Daddy's Little Freak. It's a book you can get from one of the women in his sex cult. It came out years ago. Everything they are saying about him is true. Warning, very sexually graphic. Something Found says, Jer Honda, not Jer BMW. I have a weird way of pronouncing words, but let's Google Daddy's Little Freak. I've been afraid to Google that thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to get triggered, but it's overdue. I need to go ahead and Google this. So let's Google Daddy's Little Freak book online. Oh, book Twitter. Let's see, PDF. Sex Confessions of Daddy's Little Freak. R. Kelly's concubine releases Confessions of Daddy's Freak. PDF ebook. Oh, dang, they got it on eBay? Wow. So let's go to Goodreads here and check it out. Child, some girl wrote this book under the pseudonym Daddy's Girl, and it's supposed to be about R. Kelly. I know that R. Kelly needs help. He is sick. I don't mess with his music or anything anymore, but even with that being said, this book is outrageous. It sounds just like one of those hood novels. Coldest winter ever to the nth power. It's full of underage sex, physical, emotional abuse, orgies, drugs, disease, voodoo, death. If what she wrote is true, he should be put under the jail and his execution should be televised. Other than saying Rob and Robert a couple of times, she never says his full name, but you know who she's talking about by the things she describes, and each chapter name is an R. Kelly song title or lyric. If this is a lie, she needs help. If it isn't a lie, she needs help, and it needs to be a freaking movie. So, yeah, folks, we might want to go ahead and get our hands on this book and read it. I might have to read it in pieces because, damn, voodoo. But this is something that a lot of people have said and surmised about R. Kelly because he does urinate on the girls, the underage girls and the women that he has in his sex cult. He urinates on them. He makes them drink the urine. He makes them eat feces. Yeah, you would never think it. Watching his music videos, right? You would never think that. And I'm sure he's not the only one. He's just one of the ones that's busted and that the public is on. But I'm sure there's a lot of them out there doing it. They're all in the industry. And it's no secret. Hollywood is filled with occult rituals. All right, and occult stuff isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's like anything else. It's like electricity. It's like money. You can use it for positive gain, and you can use it for and you can abuse it for negative gain. So voodoo and the occult in of themselves are not evil. But I know for a fact, living out here, I'm about 15 minutes away from Hollywood. And I will tell you, if you've never been to Hollywood, it's not all glitz and glam. Matter of fact, most of Hollywood, when you're walking through Hollywood, is very grimy. It's nasty. It's dirty. You're going to see a lot of weird characters walking by, talking to themselves, homeless or partially homeless. The last time I was in Hollywood last week, we were driving through Hollywood Boulevard, and there was this guy. He was almost naked, his stuff hanging out, and he was walking in the middle of the street, cars just passing by honking. And that's not unusual. In fact, we out here call it Holly Weird, not Hollywood, but Holly Weird. And like I said, most of Hollywood is very dirty, grimy, and nasty. The only glitz and glam that you'll see as far as Hollywood is concerned is the hills, the homes in the Hollywood Hills, the mansions in the hills. But main downtown Hollywood and all the main sections and areas of Hollywood, run down, dirty, ghetto. I wouldn't be caught after dark in Hollywood because it can get really, really dangerous. I used to go to this place called Hollywood THC, and it was a weed place, a weed dispensary, and the place stayed open till 3 a.m. And usually the dispensaries, California, LA County has these rules that I think they have to close by 10 or midnight. Well, this dispensary was open till 3 a.m. And I guess the cops had to deal with them or something because they didn't get closed down. I think they're still in business, by the way. But I used to go out there, Hollywood THC, because I lived close by in Glendale, which was 5 minutes away. And that was the closest place to get the weed. And it was very dangerous. I was a nervous wreck trying to get the weed late at night. Sometimes I'd be walking like 11 or 12, and these shady characters would be like, "Hey, how you doing? You got a light? You got a cigarette?" And then they'd follow me a little bit, and I'd have to, act like I'm crazy and talk to myself and start, punching at the air to get them to leave me alone. Yeah, so Hollywood is pretty grimy. I've had I've had some acquaintances. I call them acquaintances in the industry. I even had a roommate who was a drummer, and he was a drummer throughout his life. He was in his 50s when I roommated with him, but he had a whole list of things. He did music for some sitcoms in the 80s. He drummed with different bands. I think he did some for Britney Spears. He did some work for Britney Spears. All of that jazz. But the guy was really, really crooked for one, and he was not really. I think that the sexual boundaries with some of these people are non-existent. And he tried a couple of things. He said a few phrases. I guess he was testing the waters with me, and I told him straight up, "There's none of that going to be happening here, okay? So don't even try that shit." And I moved out shortly after that because I just didn't trust that dude. I was like, I don't trust that dude. But yeah, We might have to get that book, Daddy's Little Freak, because R. Kelly likes for the women and the girls to call him daddy when he's having sex with them. Isn't that nasty? So you know he's a pedophile of pedophiles. He's the king of pedophiles. He's the Pied pedophile. He wants to call himself the Pied Piper. Well, he's the pedophile Pied Piper. Yeah. Peter pedophile picked a Pied Piper pickle pedophile piece of shit. All right. Something Found says it was available for download. Yeah, that's why he needed the P to bind the women to him so they won't leave. She tells the tale of how she got herpes from him, and he tells her, well, you wanted all of me, so now you got it, and called her a doctor to get her some meds. Wow. Yep. Can you imagine that? This 14-year-old girl getting STD from this R. Kelly, and all he has to say is, well, you wanted all of me, now you got it, and then he went ahead and called her a doctor. Wow, I mean, this girl's life is ruined. Mel S says, by the way, how's your cat doing? She hasn't been heard yet today. Oh, you mean the one that meows a lot? That's Dev, and he's laying here behind me. He's asleep. He was up in my face all night, so I think he's a little tired now. Mel S says, SF, yes, I heard that. Didn't know she was the author. Something Found says they never say who the author is, but some people think it's Geronda, but she has a book already out, so who knows? Yeah, well, I mean, she could have more than one book out, right? It could be Jocelyn Savage or Azra Clary or one of those other women. But going back to that voodoo thing, yes, people do bind. This is a binding thing that people do. They use bodily fluids. They use urine, feces, semen, and menstrual fluid of the women to do various occult rituals and practices to bind and control others. And one of the ones that does that is called OTO, Ordo Templis Orientis. It is an occult group, secret group, or whatever you call it, secret society, and they do that. It is a sex cult, and they do that. Some people use blood in their magic, either their own or other people's blood, to bind people. So, you know, it makes sense. He's using this voodoo stuff and bodily fluids to create a sex cult. I'm telling you, this is just some sick shit, though. Yeah, it could be a totally different woman, Something Found. It could be. I mean, we don't know how many women he's had in that sex cult. We only see the ones that's where their parents are talking about it. But, you know, for all we know, he could have 30, 40, 50 somewhere in a dungeon somewhere, chained up. We don't know that. Because I'm going to tell you something. When you have big power and stature and money, all of your proclivities that and habits that, to say the least, are not very healthy and now become augmented, right? Something Found says this man probably has been with thousands of women. He's a sex addict. Yeah, that's what I say. What I'm saying is, excuse me, there's no boundary when you have a lot of money at your disposal. You have a lot of yes men and women around you that are willing to do whatever it is because you can pay them. It's not always the easiest life. You would think that, well, you're rich and famous, you have it a lot easier than the rest of us. But there is a price for that rich and famous lifestyle, which now includes a lack of self-discipline if you're not careful. Any addiction or proclivities that a person has are automatically augmented with an increase of money. Any increase of money. This is the danger you have to worry about when you're dealing with money and power and fame. And if you're not very self-aware, then you could easily end up getting in trouble. And if you're somebody like R. Kelly, then those addictions are going to be augmented. And if you keep getting away with it for decades and decades, well, at some point, you're going to tell yourself, I'm invincible. I'll never get caught. And then you can tell yourself, well, maybe I'm not even doing anything wrong because, I mean, there's a sex tape and people didn't put me in prison, so I guess it's okay. Society thinks it's okay. They're still buying my songs. They're still loving my lyrics. There's nothing wrong with what I'm doing, right? So people can tell themselves all kinds of things. But this Barbra Streisand, I have to say, her comments were some of the most infuriating to me. You know, this is a bizarre woman. I mean, and then she has this thing. Let me show you guys something here. I'm going to take you to my Twitter page because I decided to let Barbra Streisand know how I felt about it. Okay. I'm a survivor of childhood sexual abuse and cult abuse. And as a survivor, I feel I have the right to tell somebody like her my thoughts on her comments. Okay. So I'm going to pull up this Twitter thing here. And while I'm pulling this up, I'm going to play some Iggy. All right, let me see here. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm going to turn this Iggy thing off for a minute here because I'm getting in serious mode now. I want you guys to look at this stuff here. All right. I went on Twitter, okay? As you can see here, let me scroll down. I went on Twitter and I decided to tweet to not Barbara Anderson. Barbra Streisand. I said Barbara Anderson, shit. Okay. Now, Streisand over here on her page, she has this thing where she's trying to sell her t-shirts. Keep it classy in these iconic Barbra tees. So what I went ahead and did was I retweeted her tweet and said, LOL, keep it classy with a pedophile supporter, Barbra Streisand, on your shirt. Get the fuck out of here. All right. See how many people saw that. 80 people so far. It was only 4 hours ago. And then this one wasn't directly tweeted to her, but I said this just goes to show that no matter how popular and famous these celebrities are, they are disgusting, filthy idiots in real life. Barbra Streisand being one of them, okay? And in this picture, you can tell her nose is much bigger and longer than Michael Jackson's. I mean, why did they not fix her nose and her teeth? Why are they not fixed? Why did she not fix her ugly ass face? You know what I mean? Because she's an ugly pedophile lover. She's a pedophile enabler and a pedophile lover and probably a pedophile herself. Barbra Streisand would have sympathy for him. Okay, so Dr. Vicky here, she tweeted about a defrocked Jersey priest who molested boys and now teaches English somewhere, okay? And she says, how does child sexual exploitation creep and spread around the globe? Wherever children are made vulnerable, predators prey. Defrocked Jersey priest who molested boys now teaches English in Dominican Republic, okay? So I retweeted Dr. Vicky's tweet there, and I said Barbra Streisand right here would have sympathy for him and would say his sexual needs are his sexual needs. She'd also probably say that his victims were thrilled to be there when they were being molested. Then over here, I got this picture here. And I said, I hashtag Barbra Streisand and hashtag Leaving Neverland. I said, Barbra Streisand says Leaving Neverland victims were thrilled to be there when they were being sexually abused as kids. Maybe she can shove her dildo nose up R. Kelly's hindquarters and be as thrilled to be there. Ugly mannequin-faced hag. Okay. And then I said, and I had here this thing just goes to show no matter how popular, rich, and famous these celebrities are, in real life, they are some of the most disgusting and filthy people you'd ever know. She blames the parents, but Barbra Streisand, you are part of the enabling process, you pedophile apologist hypocrite, okay? And then I had another one here. Pedophile loving Barbra Streisand. You should have gotten Michael Jackson's surgeon to fix your dildo nose. Maybe you can shove it up R. Kelly's ass since he likes dildos in his hind. You look a hot mess, Barbara. Can't tell who's the man and who's the woman in this pic, you pedophile hag. And then I had some more choice words. Let me scroll back. Let me scroll back here. Let me go in my tweets and replies. They're probably in here. Okay, so I said, as far as Barbra Streisand, I didn't know the hag was still alive. I remember her from the 80s and thought her music was boring. So to see her come out and say these disgusting things lets me know what kind of person she is. Birds of the same feather flock together. And I had tweeted at Barbra Streisand and Fat Belly Bella, aka Erykah Badu. All right. Yeah, I put Erykah Badu in that shit too. And I said, well, yeah, Erykah Badu, I was. But somebody said, were you shocked? I said, well, yeah, at Erykah Badu, I was. I was a huge fan, went to concerts, had all her albums, etc. Threw that crap right out. I refuse to support anyone who supports pedophiles and child sex abusers. Yes, and that is true. And then M. Raven says, way to take responsibility off the predator at Barbra Streisand. So, yeah, that bitch is being told. We're telling her exactly what she is, okay? Then I said here, yeah, Google the tons of news articles. She'll probably try to backtrack and fix her disgusting comments like old Erykah Badu, a.k.a. Fat Belly Bella, who I'm through with as well. I never cared for Streisand, but I was extremely disappointed in Badu. These celebs are disgusting. See how many people saw that? Only 22 yet? It's all right. More will see it in the coming months. And I had some more. Let me see. Where's the ones where I was really letting Barbara have it? Twitter was trying to, you know, give me a little attitude about it. Let me see. Here we go. Here we go. I said here, this one right here. I'm so proud of this one here. I said, Barbra Streisand, your disgraceful attacks on Michael Jackson's victims, saying they were thrilled to be molested and Mike's sexual needs were just his sexual needs, are equally as disgraceful, you filthy pedophile supporter. You're probably a pedophile yourself, you nasty troglodyte. And that was in response to one of her tweets about Donald Trump being disgraceful and all of this stuff, which, yeah, he's disgraceful, but bitch, you are too. Don't be pointing the finger at Trump, bitch, and then pretend like you're better. You're no better, bitch. You nasty piece of shit. Now look at this right here. She's got this thing. Barbra Streisand tweeted happy birthday at Rosie, talking about Rosie O'Donnell. So I retweeted that, and then I tagged Rosie O'Donnell to it. And I said, Rosie, what do you think about this hag, Barbra Streisand, saying she believes victims of sex abuse of Michael Jackson, but in the same breath says they were thrilled to be there? Do you support her in this too? You celebrities are disgusting idiot filth, no matter how famous you are. Then I said, this one here, she has a tweet. She had a tweet, I guess this was one long ago, with her son Jason, with my sweet son Jason on the set of A Star Is Born, right? So then I retweeted that and tagged Streisand to it. I said, I guess you tell your son Jason if he was molested to let bygones be bygones too, and that he was thrilled to be there too, you nasty pedophile loving piece of shit. You have no clue what victims of child sex abuse go through with your dildo nose. So yeah, I've let her have it. Right here, Barbra Streisand, you look like a manatee with AIDS threw up in your face, you ugly plastic face, dildo nose, pedophile apologist. Hope those dogs maul your ugly face off. You're probably a pedophile yourself. Ugly ass bitch. Shit. So yeah, it feels pretty good. What do you guys think about that? Sour Blaze Hayes, what's up? Something Found says she's got to go. Okay, you have a good one too. This man probably has been with thousands of women. Yeah. Sour Blaze Hayes says, damn, I was out getting Benadryl. Hope I didn't miss too much. Well, I've just been, ranting and raving on this Barbra Streisand and Erykah Badu shit. And I'm drinking my NutriBullet smoothie. It's got coconut in it too. So what do you guys think about this? Isn't this disgusting? This is disgusting. Honestly, guys, I don't even want to really go to any movies anymore. I don't want to listen to any artists coming out of, the mainstream entertainment industry. I'm very apprehensive now because it's just so many of these people being outed for the most disturbing stuff. And if these people weren't celebrities, if they were just people down the street, we wouldn't even give them the time of day. But yet people are letting them into their homes every day through their music, their movies, their TV shows, whatever have you, right? And you have to look at this, like with Michael Jackson. Irregardless of whether he is guilty or not, the fact remains that there is something wrong with a grown man having kids sleep in the same bed with him for weeks and months and months and months, exclusively with him. Like there's no one else, just him and the kids, right? There's something wrong with that. Like if you saw Joe Blow down the street, let's say you had kids, and Joe Blow down the street, he could be a plumber, a gardener, he could work at the grocery store, be a grocery store manager, or he could be an engineer, whomever, right? But Joe Blow down the street comes to you and shows a very keen interest for your sons, your 7-year-old and 8-year-old son. And he says he wants to let them spend the night with him, a bachelor. And they're going to sleep in the bed. You're going to let your sons sleep in the bed with Joe Blow? He's fucking 35, 45 years old. Hell no. Who would let that happen? So why let it happen for Michael Jackson or R. Kelly or whomever? Because these people are famous. So the fame and the money somehow makes them more trustworthy. Right? The fact that Michael Jackson made good music, which is subjective. I don't really think his music was all that good, but I know that other people have a different opinion of that. So I'll say it. The fact that Michael Jackson made good music excuses him from being, it excuses him from being questioned. It excuses him from being a pedophile. So you're just going to let your kids sleep in the bed with him and, for months and months while you go off to Tahiti on a vacation? No, there's a lot of people that will sell out their kids. Sour Blaze Hayes says, it's gross. I feel like it's much more common in Hollywood than we'd like to admit. Society made many excuses for MJ, that he's different. He never had a childhood. But come on, these excuses, the parents are definitely to blame too, for neglecting their children and literally delivering their children to a predator. I think they knew in the back of their mind. Yes, Sour Blaze Hayes, they knew in the front of their mind. You cannot tell me Listen, I was 12 years old when that Bad album came out. Let me go in here. Bad album, Michael Jackson. Let me see how old I was. What year did it come out? Year did it come out? 1987. Okay, so I was 12 years old when that thing came out. And before that, he had the Thriller album. Okay, so I was a lot younger. I believe I was 6 years old when the Thriller album came out. And I had never heard of Michael Jackson before. Someone said, listen to this tape. This is really good tape. They had the Thriller tape. And they said, this is a guy named Michael Jackson. So that was the first time I heard Michael Jackson. I was creeped out because I saw the Thriller video and I was scared of him. That werewolf thing, so the first impression of him was a bad one. But after that, I liked a couple of the songs on the Thriller album. But then when he came out with by the time he came out with the Bad album, I was a little bit older and I was 12. And I remember telling some of the people at the Kingdom Hall when we were in field service that I thought it was weird that Michael Jackson had these kids sleeping in the bed with him as a grown man. Because, I'd already been molested. So I just thought he was a molester. He was molesting them. And I remember some of the adults telling me, oh, well, he's never had a childhood. And I would argue with them and say that that's no excuse. Like, there's a lot of people that don't have childhoods, that don't have kids sleeping in the bed with him like that. And I think there's something off about Michael. And I got some slack from it, even from some Jehovah's Witnesses that I was going door to door with in field service, talking to them about this. So as early as 12 years old, as a kid, I already knew that there was something wrong with the way things were going with Michael Jackson. And why people all of a sudden now want to say or look at that when all these years they didn't see anything wrong with it, right? You can't tell me that he is just like a 9-year-old kid. That's the excuse people made. Well, he's just like a kid, he's playing with these boys and just like a kid. But when he was holding hands and hugging up on these kids, little boys, little 7-year-old boys, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old boys don't hold hands with each other. They don't sleep in the bed and cuddle up with each other. If any touching is going on, they're fighting. They're either wrestling, play wrestling, or they're actually fighting, because little boys, they've got competition between each other. And sometimes you have, some alpha male thing happening where they kind of want to dominate each other and kick each other's asses sometimes for silly stuff, right? I mean, they're not going to sit there and hold hands like Michael Jackson did with Gavin Arvizo on that Bashir, that documentary with Martin Bashir, where he filmed Michael in his home, and Michael was saying that there's nothing wrong with the little boy sleeping in his bed with him, and that's the best thing you could do is to offer your bed to someone, while he's holding hands with Gavin, and Gavin's got his head on Michael's shoulder like they're a couple. Little boys don't do that. If Michael was really a kid himself and a 9-year-old kid, he wouldn't be doing that. No, this is a grown man. And let's say he was mentally like a little kid. He has a grown man's body with a grown man's penis that has natural reactions to environments, okay? You know why guys, straight guys, don't hug from the front? If you ever noticed this, if they ever hug, like, if they hug each other, their best friends or their brothers or relatives, most of the straight guys will hug from the side. Do you know why? Because sometimes the male organ just gets hard for no reason at all. And you don't want to accidentally brush up against another guy with that, okay? You don't want to accidentally brush up against anybody you don't want to brush up against. And if you're laying in bed and you've got morning wood and there's a little kid next to you, that's not a good thing. Okay, and that happens. I mean, it's just normal male physical and physiology. You know, the penis is going to get aroused. It's going to get hard. You know, you're going to ride around down the street. You're going to pass a speed bump, and boom, the thing might get a little hard for whatever reason, right? So this is normal. You don't want little kids in the bed with you when that is going to happen. Only pedophiles do that. You know what I mean? So Sour Blaze Hayes says he knew exactly what he was doing, telling the kids his life would be over if anyone found out. He knew he was a predator. Yes. Michael Jackson was a predator. And I think that maybe in the future, Macaulay Culkin and some of these other people may come out. I mean, Macaulay Culkin swears that Michael never touched him, blah, blah, blah. Corey Feldman, he says he was never touched. I don't know about Corey Feldman. He's kind of shady. And he's got, some of his stuff is just way too sensational. But I'll tell you what, Michael Jackson had a shrine of McCulkin in that secret bedroom, that secret room behind his bed, when they raided his Neverland Ranch, when the district attorney and the sheriff videoed his stuff. He had all these secret rooms behind the regular bedrooms, and all these secret rooms had various types of soft porn and naked kid pics strewn about, right along with children's toys. There was even a child's toilet, a little toddler's toilet, in the room behind his bed. He had a secret room behind his bed, and that included a little toddler's toilet there. And he had all these toys, and then he had, you know, porn and pics of naked kids and all kinds of strange shit right along mixed together and all that. Now, why would you have all these secret rooms with these kids' toys and porn and little children's toilets there? Why would you have these secret rooms? And then he had these contraptions that would sound alarm bells when somebody was coming down the hall. So when he was in these secret rooms or in his bedroom with these boys, he could know if somebody was on the other end of the hallway coming towards the rooms, because these secret alarm bells would ring. Now, why would you have all this set up? You know what I mean? Why would you have this all set up? And then the entire Neverland Ranch was nothing but kids' toys and kids' stuff. Look, I like kids too, all right? And if I had a big place, and if I had kids, nieces and nephews or whatever, coming over, I would have a room, maybe one room where they had toys and they could play, and it would be the kids' room, but not my whole entire estate. You know what I mean? I need to have a library. I need to have a gym. I need to have grown folks' rooms, most of them, okay? You know what I mean? And I like to be playful too. I like to go back into my childhood sometimes and be goofy and all that. But my entire home, my entire property, nothing but kid stuff, I don't think so. You know, that is a pedophile's paradise there. Pedophiles like to do that. They like to set up rooms and contraptions to lure kids, candy, anything, right? So, oh yeah, Sour Blaze Hayes says, is there a video of this? Yeah. Google. All right, Mel S. Mel S says, take care. We'll re-listen later. Thank you, Bob. All right, Mel S. You can catch this whenever you want. But let's Google. Let me see. Let me Google Michael Jackson raid Neverland video. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's do another screen share. It might take you a couple of minutes to Google and get all those websites out. But just Google, start with this keyword phrase. Michael Jackson raid Neverland, and you'll see the first one here: Michael Jackson's secret underage sex closet revealed in Neverland raid. And he had more than one. This wasn't the only one. They have a video of it actually, but as soon as this thing loads, we can kind of peruse this particular article here. You know, these newspaper sites are pretty annoying because they have all these annoying pop-ups that as soon as you load them, they start popping up everywhere. There's that shrine, that Macaulay Culkin shrine. You see that? All right, I'll show you the article here. It says, a new video has been released of the November 2003 raid of Michael Jackson's home by 70 members of the Santa Barbara County District Attorney's Office and Sheriff's Department, which uncovered his collection of pornography and photos featuring young boys naked. The video shows almost all of Jackson's home, from the arcade room to his bedroom and the many life-sized mannequins he had throughout his Neverland ranch. Yeah, he probably had sex with those mannequins too. Shoot. Many of these mannequins were superheroes like Superman and Lara Croft. This raid also revealed for the first time the King of Pop's secret closet, hidden in the back of his bedroom and kept closed with 3 deadlocks. It was in here that he kept memorabilia, like a signed photograph of Macaulay Culkin, stuffed animals, games, and naked photos. Culkin signed his photo with the message, "Don't leave me alone in the house." There was also racing cars, Disney merchandise, and a shocking number of dolls. You see this? This is the little shrine he had of Macaulay Culkin. And in the back there, you can see little kids that are naked. I guess, I don't know what that was about. Out of sight books, some of which contained naked photos in the concealed room. So he has these books with photos in them of naked kids. Perfect for kids. There were also racing cars, Disney merchandise, and a shocking number of dolls. So you have like gazillions and gazillions of toys with books that have concealed naked photos in them. Okay, and then some of the naked pics there, like you got this in the background right next to Macaulay Culkin's picture here. You can see this little kid, looks like to be like a little toddler. Maybe it's someone in the bathtub taking pictures of them in the bathtub. I think that looks like Brett Barnes, actually, one of his boys that he liked. A coloring book, Joker doll, and baby doll in the room. This Michael Jackson had hundreds of dolls. Just creepy. It's just creepy. People that have like this stuff, it's just very creepy. Secret bedrooms with weird stuff like that. Many of these books and videos found in the raid were also detailed in court papers from the time, submitted after a young boy came forward claiming that he had been sexually abused and assaulted by the singer on multiple occasions. The police report claims that in Jackson's bedroom and bathroom alone, there were at least 7 collections of work found by investigators that show boys in their teenage years, and in some cases younger, fully nude or partially clothed. Some of the collections, Romina Wilhelm von Kleurden is described in court papers as nude photos of teenage boys from the late 1800s. An arrest warrant has been issued at the time, so this is from back to 2003. But the documents exposed Jackson as a manipulative drug and sex-crazed predator who used blood, gore, sexually explicit images of animal sacrifice, and perverse adult sex acts to bend children to his will. So what he would do is show them like, porn books or porn pictures to get them sexually aroused and start grooming them. The source added he also had disgusting and downright shocking images of child torture, adult and child nudity, female bondage, and sadomasochism. The report states that many of the materials featuring naked men and women in the home could be used for the purpose of trying to attract young men. After the descriptions for many of the materials, the investigator notes, based on my training, this type of material can be used as part of the grooming process by which people, those seeking to molest children, lower the inhibitions of their intended victims and facilitate the molestation of said victims. So yeah, I mean, you know, he shows them this porn stuff and then he gets them sexually aroused and he says, hey, you know, let me show you how to do this, but you got to keep it a secret or whatever. And, you know, that's how it gets started. These materials include a book depicting nude children found in the singer's arcade room, a book which contained nude photographs of men in the master bedroom, and multiple books found in the master bedroom that included one with naked and semi-naked gay men and another with preteen or early teenage individuals who in some cases were nude or semi-nude. So this is one of the videos here that you can watch. See the moment the sheriffs raid Jackson's Neverland Ranch. This is old news, actually, but a lot of people don't know about this. You know, he had all these life-size mannequins and dolls, just dolls and dolls, hundreds of dolls everywhere. Now, you know what? The weird thing is he had nothing but little boys that he had come over, right? But he had all these dolls, you know, so because most boys don't play with dolls, right? They don't really. Fun and games, puzzles, and children's books inside the secret closet in Jackson's home. So why would you have all this in secret closets? Why are you putting these kids in secret closets there with you? You know? Why does it have to be secret? You know what I mean? Sarah Blaze Hayes says, so with all these findings, why was he not convicted? Because he's Michael Jackson. Exactly. You guessed it. Exactly. You're right. Because he was Michael Jackson. They let him off the hook. Just like R. Kelly. They had a sex tape with him on the tape. But they let him off the hook. I'll tell you something though. That sex tape of R. Kelly back in 2004, where people say that Sparkle's niece, her name is Rashonda Landfair. That's the girl's name. That's on the R. Kelly sex tape from 2003. Well, Michael Avenatti, one of the attorneys representing the victims of R. Kelly today, submitted another tape to the Cook County District Attorney and prosecutors involving the same girl. So it's not the same exact tape. It's another tape, but the same girl is in the tape. I think this particular tape has multiple girls in it, and the same girl is also in this new tape. So R. Kelly's attorney is saying that people are doing double jeopardy. They can't try R. Kelly on the same thing. Yeah, but the attorney is really stupid because, number one, the first trial was for child pornography, not for child molestation, not for sexual abuse. So he might have gotten off for child pornography, but he was never tried for child molestation and sexual assault, which is what he's indicted for now. So there's no double jeopardy. And number two, it looks like possibly Rashonda Landfair, aka Sparkle's niece. Sparkle is an R&B singer that worked with R. Kelly. It looks like her and her parents are cooperating with the Cook County prosecutors. Now, I'm not sure about that, but that's what I've read and heard in the gossip mill of YouTube. There's a lot of YouTubers that are doing interviews with R. Kelly's people that grew up with him in school, that were managers, tour managers. A lot of these managers that's quit recently are coming on YouTube, doing interviews with different YouTubers, putting his stuff out there. So yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to make a roast today. I was roasting that fucking dildo nose Barbra Streisand. I was just letting her have it. And I got a Twitter thing saying that my account is limited, but I don't really know how because I can still see the tweets. Other people can still see the tweets. I wasn't asked to delete anything. I wasn't asked to delete the tweets. So I don't know what Twitter was doing. But yeah, folks, it's really a mess. And be careful of the celebrities that you are dealing with. Be careful of them because a lot of these people are just downright dirty. They're just dirty, dirty, dirty. You know what I mean? And I mean, Sour Blaze Hayes says, I will listen to the beginning when it's over. Your roasts are always fun. Yeah, well, thank you. They're always fun to do. I don't really like to roast people, you know, and I know that there's been people that's been wanting me to roast them. I'm not going to say any names, but I know that there's one person that has tried her very, very best to roast me. Yes, she has. I mean, not to roast me, to get me to roast her. She has been trying her very, very best, people. I have to give it to her. She's been trying, I think, for a good 5 months now, almost half a year. Now, I had put her on block the first time when I was still doing YouTube stream videos on Bob Smith. And then she came to me on Twitter under another name, and she says, oh, Bobby, you blocked me on my other name. Will you please talk to me? And I should have blocked her on that one, but I gave her the benefit of the doubt. So she got a little upset at me because I wasn't messaging and responding to her fast enough. She wanted pretty much, you know, a lot of attention and time. And, you know, folks, I love a lot of people, but I can't always give you a lot of time and attention. I've got a lot of other things I'm doing in my life other than online social media. And a lot of times I'm multitasking and I'm actually working. So when I am on social media, I'm multitasking and I can't always get to you right away. But she didn't understand that, probably because she doesn't work. She's at home all the time. She's probably got more time on her hands than what she knows to do with. So she's thinking that other people are in the same boat or that need, you know, she just can't understand people who work or people who have other things to do, even when they're not working. When they're at home, they've got a lot of errands to run. They've got things to do. They can't always immediately respond, okay? So she got mad at me about it. And I got annoyed. I was like, I don't have time for this now, okay? But she cursed me and some of my other friends out like a dog on Twitter. You know, I guess she got mad when I was responding to them and didn't respond to her fast enough. And she cursed my friends out. So that's when I put that name on block too. I was like, okay, I'm done. I just said goodbye. And I felt implicitly that she wanted me to roast her. She wanted me to go off on her about that. But, you know, she had told me that she was bipolar beforehand. So I just couldn't get mad, or, you know, I was annoyed. Sure, I was annoyed. But I just couldn't get mad or angry, anything like that. And I just didn't see that she was someone that needed to be roasted, okay? Well, she went and made multiple decoy accounts on Twitter and started calling me fat. And I knew exactly who that was because out of all the trolls, out of all the people I've roasted, none of them have ever come to me with the fat thing. They usually come at me with the transgender thing. You know, when they make up their troll accounts, they usually come at me with the transgender thing. But this individual here, I knew it was her because she was convinced in our previous conversations when she was on her real profile, quote unquote, real profile, we had a conversation about something where there was a restaurant that had made me sit outside. It was a Filipino restaurant that did not let me sit inside anymore because they changed the rules. You had to buy their buffet in order to stay inside. And I usually would go in there and buy a coffee. I would have a friend and she would like to eat the food there. I was not much of a fan of the food, so I wouldn't eat. I would just have a cup of coffee. Well, um, me being about 70 pounds overweight, um, I guess they thought I was gonna steal food off her plate or some shit like that. I mean, you're sitting right there where everybody can see you. Number one, you're right there by the staff. So, I mean, you're not going to be able to sneak anything because they're right there. And number two, I don't do that anyway. I don't even like the food there. That's why I only drank coffee. I would just go to be able to talk to my friend, and she enjoyed the food. So they made me sit outside the restaurant while she sat inside and ate, and I didn't want to spoil her dinner. But I went to and took it to Yelp and social media to Twitter, and I pretty much blasted the company for making me do that. And I said, I guess you think because I'm chubby that I'm going to steal your raggedy food. Well, this woman here got in the mix of that and started telling me that no, it wasn't because you're chubby, it's because you're being gang stalked. And I said, what is gang stalking? So she gave me all these links, and I looked at some of these things, and it's these people that feel that they're being gang stalked by, I don't know, the government. I don't know if any of that's true or not, but I kept telling her, I don't think I'm being gang stalked. I think this is an exception. I think this is an individual restaurant that just has this particular culture or bias. And she got it in her head that I was very sensitive about being overweight. I know I should be, but I'm not. I mean, I know I should be for health reasons. I should be sensitive about it, right? I mean, I'm not. I mean, look, if I was going to be sensitive about something, I would be sensitive about the transgender thing more so than the weight thing, because there's a lot of overweight people, but, there's a lot less transgender people, and there's a lot more hate towards transgender than overweight people. So if I'm going to be sensitive about something, it would be the transgender thing more so than the overweight thing, because I'm not that damn big. I mean, I'm 60, 70 pounds overweight, okay? But I mean, there's a lot bigger people than me. So, I'm not the biggest motherfucker on earth. But in her mind, we argued almost. I was like trying to let her know, look, it's not that I'm sensitive about my weight. It's just a fact. This restaurant had me sit outside because they thought I was a chubby guy trying to steal off their buffet. I had been going to that restaurant for a year, sitting with my coffee, never had a problem. And then they got new management in that didn't know me, and that's what they did. Well, come to find out, they had not been paying their employees, their waiters and waitresses. They had unpaid wages, 6, 7 months worth, to where like 8 people had already quit. So I was just all over that. I was like, ha ha ha. You are the crooks, because they're called Leland Bakery. Leland's Bakery are the crooks. You had me sitting outside, treat me like a crook. I never stole nothing from you. Yet you're stealing from your employees. You're not even paying them. You're stealing their time and energy, you crook. So I was all over that, calling them hypocrites on Twitter and hashtagging their ass and tagging the California employment, equal opportunity employment gov thing that regulates unpaid and unfair wages and all that. I had a field day with it. So this woman saw all these tweets. I guess she's watching my Twitter, and came to me and told me, oh, you're being gang stalked. That's what that is. And I kept telling her, no, it's because I'm chubby and they think I was going to get their food. Turned out they stole and didn't even pay their employees, stealing from their employees. And so we went back and forth, and I finally just let her have the last say. I finally said, all right, fine. I'm being gang stalked to get her the fuck out of my hair because she was not going to hear anything I had to say. So when she made a fake profile, and I mean, literally, it said March 2019, and the only tweets were to me. So I knew this person had gone through all the trouble to make a fake decode profile and just to tell me I was fat because she was mad I had blocked her on all those other profiles. So, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, she said something like, "You're very fat and you shouldn't body shame people." And I said, "Well, you're probably right. I am very fat, and you didn't body shame me at all for it. Thanks for letting me know." All right, Sour Blaze Hayes says, "Gotta take off. Thanks for the show." Yep, yep, yep. Sour Blaze Hayes said, "I would not go to a place that did that, even if I liked their food." And then she says, "Gotta take off. Thanks for the show." Well, when you come back and listen to this, I want to tell you this, Sour Blaze Hayes. After that day, I never went back. Now, my friend, I think she went back a couple of times, and that's when the waiters and waitresses told her that the owner wasn't paying them and hadn't paid them for almost 6 months. Like, how are you going to do this? You're going to have people work for 6 months without pay? These people have families, they have bills, mortgages, rent, utilities to pay, and you're going to have them come in and work and work and work and not pay them? Well, yet you want to treat your customers like crooks that's never ever stole from you. Never. I've never eaten off that buffet. I don't really like Filipino food, to be honest. There's only a couple of things that I'll eat, but most of that stuff I just don't like. But like I said, they probably looked at me, and I do look Filipino, so they probably thought I was a Filipino trying to be sneaky or something. I don't know. I don't care. I never went back. But anyway, this little troll, she sure is very proud of herself. But it's funny though because before all of that, she was telling me how sexy my voice was, or all that little jazz. And when I didn't respond the way that she wanted to, she didn't like that. But in any case, all that work, all those decoy profiles, and you didn't even get paid. You know what I mean? You spent all that time and energy and you didn't get paid. All right, well, we got 5 people watching right now, lurking. And I was talking about Barbra Streisand. I think I got it out of my system now. I mean, I've told her to her face on Twitter what I thought of her. I came on here and roasted. We covered a little bit about Michael Jackson and Leaving Neverland. So I think I feel pretty satisfied with what I've done here today. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Um, this is not an XJW thing. So, if you're disappointed or whatever, I'm sorry, but it's not about activism. I'm kind of, like I said at the beginning, I'm over that. I've got my own personal resolution and restitution and things like that. So the energy behind it isn't as enthusiastic or as intense as it was some years ago. And, as far as the ex-Jehovah's Witness community, with the disappointments and all of the things that's going on, I wish people well. We all have a different path, and it is what it is. I decided to distance myself from a lot of people, especially people who have a high tolerance for inappropriate behavior. So people that look the other way on serious sexual assault allegations. If there's allegations, you have to take that serious. You have to take it serious. And people looking away and trying to keep quiet when there's allegations on the table, okay? But then you've got people making allegations that might not be the most credible or trustworthy on top of that. So it's a lot of mess in the ex-Jehovah's Witness communities that, I leave to other people to deal with. And I just keep my distance from it. And it's not about shunning anybody, it's about setting boundaries. I was asked to go to the town hall to share my story. And when I realized, what kinds of people were going to be at that town hall, I um, I decided not to because I don't want to put my name with any groups or any people that down the road I'm going to regret because these people have done some shady stuff that now my name is attached to it, and it's really easy to end up getting in trouble like that. For example, I'll give you a good example: Lady Gaga and R. Kelly. Lady Gaga had to apologize for making that collaboration with R. Kelly, even after we all knew that he was, having these girls, and even after that sex tape. So then, now that Surviving R. Kelly came out, Lady Gaga is apologizing and backtracking. Well, it's a little too late, at least for me. I'm done with Lady Gaga too, because you knew what he was about and you still collaborated with him. So I don't care what excuse you offer. As far as I'm concerned, I'm done with Lady Gaga too. Now, other people, other fans that were fans of her or whatever, they might see it differently, and their points of view is just as valid as anyone else. But me personally, I just don't tolerate it. I'm not gonna hang with you. I'm not gonna ride that horse to hell with you. If you are one of those kinds that looks away, that denies, that tolerates, whatever it is, I'm not a part of that. I just can't. I can't do it. And I don't care if it is other ex Jehovah's Witnesses. I just cannot do that. So that's why I've stayed away, and I'll continue to stay away. But I do secret roasts like this sometimes on different celebrities and news events or whatever. And I do tweet on Twitter about these things sometimes too. So there's that. Other than that, I've left a lot of Facebook groups. I was getting kicked out of a couple of them, and I think some of that was probably backlash from the vast apostate army or whoever. They were doing their thing and getting in there and becoming admins, I think, or moderators of groups, and you know getting me back for whatever wrongs they perceived I've done for the roasts, I guess, and I don't blame them. The roasts are pretty harsh. The roasts are pretty harsh. They're pretty piercing. I've said things that other people have been wanting to say to them, but are too afraid to say. So, I don't blame them for doing that. And I left a lot of groups too. I've still have to leave, go in there and leave a bunch more because when I first joined Facebook, I joined a ton of XJW groups, and it takes a little while to unclick all of them out. I wish I had an app that could just mass leave all the groups at once. But if you're one of those people that's been kicking me out of those groups and you just so happen to listen, why don't you do me a favor and go into every XJW group I'm in and get me out of there for me? That way you can save my wrist a little bit of a, pain, because it gets a little painful to all that clicking and leaving the groups. My wrist gets a little sore, and I'd appreciate it if you'd continue that. You continue that and get me out of those groups, and I'll help you along too when I can. I'll go into Facebook here and there every couple of weeks, and I'll leave 5 or 6 groups at a time too. And then at some point we can get me out of every group. Okay. But yeah, I took Facebook off of my phone. I took a lot of social media apps off my phone to save time and energy, to shave down where I would put my attention. I took a lot of the apps that I had in general off my phone. Just time wasters and fiddlers like that. And I've been doing pretty good. My mood's been a lot better. I no longer see the need to see Watchtower go down, see Watchtower be destroyed. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Watchtower is already done for. Okay, but there used to be a time where I had this need to just see the whole organization crumble, and I no longer have that, and I no longer. I mean, years before, I had this need to have a community. You know, when you're shunned and your family's shunning you, and then you go into the XJW groups and you feel like you've got a family there, you've got a community there, and the tendency can be codependency, right? The tendency can be codependency. You can become codependent on other people there in these XJW groups. You can be approval seeking. You have a strong need for approval, especially if you've never gotten it at home in your own Jehovah's Witness family and congregation. So I admit some years ago I had that going on too, but as the past recent years, it's become less and less to the point where now I can self-validate. I can get my own balance from within. I don't need outside approval or validation for that. And that frees me up, it frees you up, it frees everyone else up to be and live as what they need to be and as what they need to live. It frees you up to live your path, whatever that may be, so that I'm not looking to you to approve of me. I'm not looking to you to be my friend or to like me, to feel good. It doesn't take anything away from me for you not to like me or for you not to be my friend or for you not to even agree with me. It doesn't take anything away from me. And vice versa. It shouldn't take anything away from you if I don't agree with you, if I don't particularly care for your company, and if I block you. That should not take anything away from you as a person. Okay? And this is something that is very crucial. You have to realize this in this day and age, because you're going to have some people that are going to love what you do. They're going to love who you are. Everything you do, they're going to love it. You're going to have people that look at you and there's nothing wrong that you can ever do to them. You're going to have people that will not like you no matter what you do. You could sprout wings and a halo and they still wouldn't like you. They still wouldn't want to be around you. Okay? So there's that. And I think that's it in a nutshell, folks. I appreciate you all tuning in. Appreciate the time. We got 4 people watching. No one's saying anything in the live chat. So I imagine maybe a couple of those people are probably people that don't really care too much about me or care for me and just want to see what I have to say. You know about those lurkers. We all got lurkers, right? All right. Well, enjoy your Saturday. I'm off from work. I called in sick because I had a really bad backache, and I've been on this thing for about 2 hours. So I'm about to close this live stream out. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. And fuck Barbra Streisand. That's the last keynote I want to leave you with. Fuck her. Fuck R. Kelly. Fuck Michael Jackson. And fuck Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey, Bill Cosby, all these nasty, filthy, Erykah Badu, all these nasty, filthy celebrities. Fuck them.
Give me the bridge now. I feel like busting loose, busting loose. Give me the bridge now. I feel like busting loose now. Busting loose in the evening, busting loose can't be easy. Talk about busting loose, stop. Busting loose in the meantime, busting loose make you feel fine. Talk about busting loose down, busting loose to my love Jones, busting loose to each his own. Talk about busting loose down, busting loose to my love Jones, busting loose. to each his own. Give me the beat, y'all. I feel like busting loose. Give me the beat, y'all. Give me the beat, oh. I feel like busting loose. Busting loose. I said, Shala. Come on, y'all said. I said, Shala. Get it. Y'all said, put your money down. I said, Shala. Come on, y'all said. I said, Shala. Get it. Y'all said, give me the beat now. I feel like busting loose. Give me the beat, y'all. Give me the beat, y'all. Now. I feel like busting loose. Busting loose now. Busting loose when you want to deal. Busting loose doing what you feel. Talking about busting loose, girl. Busting loose when you want to deal. Busting loose doing what you feel. Talking about busting loose now. Busting loose when you want to sing. Busting loose, baby, do your thing. Talking about busting loose, girl. Busting loose when you want to sing. Busting loose, baby, do your thing.